This was not the plan. I have lambs in the shed before we've finished setting it up. Here's one he did earlier, I could say. Then I need to remember and put the Jubilee clip on first before I put the T-piece on. So I can't even speak. I have lambs in the shed before we've finished setting it up. This was not the plan. This is early by about 5 days. But it looks a good strong lamb. She should have another one in her, I hope. But yeah. Oops. Need to make sure that the ewes are kept in good nutrition and they get every requirement that they need, particularly now that they're inside. So making sure that they're topped up with the very important lifeline buckets. So I'm just going to go and dish these out now. So Davey started rolling out the cable and connecting it all back up again from this end. So we just need to obviously cable tie that back up to there. And then I think we cable tied them there as well, actually last year. But yeah, that's basically how it works. And then once it's connected up properly, the sheep will just push that and then the wee bowl will fill. So yeah. This side is relatively straightforward because this is the side we did last year, obviously. But this side is going to be trickier, as I've said, with making sure that we can still get ewes, obviously, from the big pens out. We are thinking of putting the pipe along the ground this side and then having it come basically. Pipe will run along the ground here, come up here, along and then down. And the idea behind that is that hopefully it'll save too much kinking. It is going to be a bit of a faff, and you are going to probably use more pipe, but otherwise we were going to have to run something from one end to the shed to the other and then have it like dangling effectively, which then makes it more susceptible to freezing if it is going to be cold. But also the only downside to doing this underground along here is that we won't be able to see if there's any leaks. So yeah, not sure. But yeah, stay tuned to find out how it goes. I will of course share it, and if anyone has any questions on it, please do let me know. But if we can get this going, it's going to save so much time for carrying water to all these pens that we had to do last year. And trust me, when they're full, walking from this end to the middle or the other end to the middle, it's a good workout. This is all the Texels I've got left as well. So I sold 3 ewes today one was empty from scanning. One obviously lost her lamb since scanning, she was no longer in lamb, and the other one lost her lamb and had half an udder, so I didn't bother putting a lamb onto her. So we'll see what money they come into. And before anyone comes at me again, no, this is not clickbait. I'm not at the mart, I have plenty of stuff to do here. I'm not representing them, so I'm sorry, I will not have a video of them being sold. But I'll tell you how they get on, okay? Just disclaimer. So here's one that Davey's sort of set up. Here's one he did earlier, I could say. So this is what we're kind of thinking. So pipe will come up, round, and then just connect onto there with the right fittings. and hopefully this won't kink or anything, and then it'll obviously connect on the ground as well into there. Yeah, the idea is to not move this hurdle as little as we can, so we don't disrupt the pipe on the floor or anything. Once the muck's built up a wee bit, it'll obviously be fine, but to start with we'll just need to be really careful. And yeah, we'll see how this goes, but we have lots more to do. Oh, because not everything's perfect, I had the pipe, you might remember I tied the pipe along the back wall here after we were finished with it when we took the pens down, and it was doing fine, and then the muck started to rise and the calves got bored, and some naughty little pain in the managed to get hold of the pipe that was on the wall and had pulled half of it in over during the night, so obviously we didn't get it till the morning, so some of it has broken. It's all mucky, but like that's a T-fitting there and it's obviously snapped. So yeah, we've got lots of little bits now from where the calves have wrecked it. So note to self, next year, don't tie it up where they can reach it, or put it on the outside and tie it up. Yeah, I didn't even cross my mind, but there we go, won't be doing that again. Of boiling water here. This is obviously a broken one, so I have undone all of the Jubilee clips there, and I'm softening the pipe to try and hopefully pull the old ones out and then replace it with a new piece. Hopefully they come out in one bit, but the other end I'll show you in a minute, because there's more on this end, it's easier to pull out obviously, whereas the other end it's like inside the pipe. So I had to cut the last one, so I'll see how I got on with this one, if I can pull it out with pliers or not. They're not meant to come back out, that's why they've got such a good hold. Oh, jeepers, that moved a wee bit. There we go. Perfect. So that's obviously the broken end. As you can see, broken, new. So that small part is inside the other end of the pipe. So I'm just going to soften this end again. Make sure my Jubilee clip is still on. And yeah, Jubilee clip's there. So then just pipe's nice and soft. So just shove this end back in. Try and get up as far as I can. There we go. Jubilee clip comes down. Slide it back over. Got my wee screwdriver here. Where is it? There we go. And now tighten it. Hold it all in place. Hopefully this works, and hopefully we won't have to do this again once it's all set up this year. It'll be kept out of reach of cattle. That is one thing that I'm certain of. Right, so one end done, sorted. Now this is the wee bit that goes onto the bottom there that then attaches onto the drinker. So again, undone the Jubilee clip. I'm just going to soften this end now. So again, these came from Amazon, just T pieces off Amazon, same as the drinkers. So that's it, nice and soft. Push that in. Try and get up as far as I can. It's not easy. Perfect. Done. So that bit then goes down onto the drinker. So again, slide the Jubilee clip up, get it over, and then tighten it again. So It is all super fiddly, but it's worth it in the end, I promise. Right, so we have this end now. This is what I was meaning. It's like stuck on the inside. So I'll try soften it and see if I can pull it out. But yeah, the last time I wasn't fit to, and I ended up just having to cut this end off. So yeah, just have to make sure I don't cut off too much and it makes it too tight, and then the drop downs don't fall in line with the trough, but I'll see. That's 2 done, but I think there's still 3 or 4 maybe to sort. So yeah, the calves did a good job. This wee slip and it goes down, flipping down your finger or something. I can't really get down the side of it either. As I say, they're not really meant to be coming out, so they're not going to be easy. So yeah, that's how far in it was that I had to try and pull out. So just softening the pipe again just now, and then I'll get the, I should grab the other end actually, it's falling down here. The other end on, it's not on quite as far as you can see, you know, there's a wee bit of a gap there, but hopefully it'll be alright. And then it just drops down and then attaches onto drinker there, screws in, and hopefully it won't leak. Let's do the next 2. Just going along and cable tying the pipe to the gates now, just to hold it up. So done the first 5 pens, just all these to go, and then still need to figure out this side. I think I just need to bite the bullet and crack on with it because I know what I need to do, but I'm just a bit nervous that I do something wrong and then Davey tells me off. But yows, all happy, but they're all settled. You can see they're all standing, chewing their cud, lying down, whatever. Really starting to get wee baggies, even in the second colour. So red is first, and then blue is obviously second. So yeah, haven't got them split up. They just literally, as I said, ran into the shed, and then we split them up thereafter. So they're not in twins, triplets, singles, anything like that. It's just like a mixture of everything in a pen. I personally quite like the mixture because then, and also because I've not got them in like this is all reds, this is all blues, because obviously if I had them in all red, all blue, then say in this pen they could all lamb within like 24 hours, so then I might not have enough pen space in relation to that whatever you want to call it, section. So you'd have to then like take them further down either way up the shed, and then if that pen kicks off then you might be using pens from that section. Not so bad with the earlies because there's not as many of them, but with the main lot particularly you have to watch because you can't like, you know, fill further up past the pens because they'll just yeah, you could end up scuppering yourself, and it's normally at like 3 in the morning that you run out of pens. So yeah, you just have to be logical on positioning of them all. So Davey's been working his way down, cutting the pipe, attaching it to the drinker, and then figuring out how much we need height wise to then go down and reach the pipe that'll be on the ground. So these ones I haven't cable tied yet because I just thought it might be easier to put the T-piece and the clamp on the end before I cable tie them, but I have started cable tying some, so I'll show you that as well. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, but we need to get more garden hose because we have run out and we're probably only about halfway down the shed. So yeah, that needs to be bought tomorrow, and then we can hopefully get this finished. It feels like it's been going on for days, but anyway, we're getting there. So just going to put this end in the boiling water to soften slightly, and then I need to remember and put the Jubilee clip on first before I put the T-piece on. So this is obviously one that I have cable tied, so you get the idea. And then I'll fit the T-piece to the bottom, and then we're going to keep the hose quite slack on the ground, just, you know, just in case, especially to start with when there's no muck in the pens. So in case it does get pulled or whatever, hopefully there's a bit of give in it. Look at a Jubilee clip, one there, a T-piece. Slide the Jubilee clip on first, and then get the T-piece on. Try and push it down as far as I can. My hands are slippy now. Right, there we go. It's just quite tight, but it's better that. This one seems tighter than the others. So Jubilee clip up, so I'll just tighten that now. There we go, ready. So this will now go onto the ground like so, and then the pipe will obviously come in, join either end. Once the T-piece is fitted at the bottom, I'm then just going along and cable tying the pipe to the gate now, just to make it secure. Now I know that I've got the right length and the T-piece is in, it's much easier to do before cable tying this to the gate. So I can't even speak. I have lambs in the shed before we've finished setting it up. This was not the plan. This is early by about 5 days. Oops. There's one, I think you can see here, it is a bit mucky, but she's obviously been shoved it under the gate. And I think our other one's over here. Just chilling. That is the easy side complete. This side, we're getting there. So again, got my bit of pipe that's cut to shape. I've then got boiling water, a T-piece, 2 Jubilee clips, and the tap that goes onto the drinker. So start by softening one end of the pipe, and always make sure your Jubilee clip goes onto the pipe first. So been in there for a few seconds, nice and bendy, Jubilee clip on, and then start by putting this on. So that one goes on a lot easier, it's a lot narrower. And then tighten up the Jubilee clip. I'll be able to do these in my sleep now. Other end goes in to soften, and then just slightly slacken the Jubilee clip, and then this time you're putting the T-piece on. These ones are slightly harder just because they're slightly thicker, but the hotter your water, definitely the easier it is to put them on. That'll do. So that's it on. Jubilee clip slides up. I'm not going to tighten that just yet because I don't know what angle I need the T-piece at. So I'll go and connect this onto the drinker next and then start cable tying, and then I can alter that if I need to. And then just start cable tying as I go. Again, just make sure at this point that it's long enough for the T-piece to reach the ground. If I've measured properly, then they should all be right. So there we have it. Cable tied on, ready to join at the bottom. So I'm just gonna, obviously that's the wrong angle now, so just gonna give it a quick turn around to make sure it's sitting about right. Then I'll tighten up that Jubilee clip, ready to figure out where this pipe's to cut. This show just needed a little helping hand here. As you can see, it's a reasonable sized lamb. So gradually pull as she shoves, making sure you cradle the head behind the ears as well, just to gently guide them out. And then I always just leave them once they're past the crucial point of the ribs. Just give them a couple seconds just to realise that they're out, and then gently pop the hips out before breaking the cord. I know that this yow is expecting twins, so just take the first lamb in front of the yow so she can see it and start bonding with it, and then I'm going in for the second lamb. Now I know I'm not wearing gloves, please don't come for me. I cannot lamb with gloves on, I just can't do it. I have tried, so this I'll just have to do. I obviously do make sure that my hands are very clean before and after each yow, as and when they need assistance. So again, got the 2 front feet here, and then just letting her shove it through her pelvis, making sure the head's through as well, and then gradually pull one leg at a time. Making sure the head's there. Can either go back in and help guide the head out, or sometimes if you put a couple of fingers in her poop hole, that can just be enough to pop it out. And again, gently pulling as she shoves, making sure not to do any damage to her or the lamb coming out. And that's what you want to see, a nice shake of the head, a nice big gasp as the lamb hits the ground. Then I always just check the yow's udder at this point, and if I haven't lambed her, once I get her in the pen, I'll check her udder then, just to make sure. I'd usually put the yow straight into a pen now with her 2 lambs, but I'm just getting her up here to bond with her lambs instead because, well, the pens aren't quite bedded yet. There is nothing more infuriating than what's happened this morning. So again, behind me here, it's a calf. Cow had twins, we knew she was having twins. Had the 2 calves absolutely fine. We were up in Sukin last night. She's laying on one overnight. She was laying on her own calf in the pen overnight and killed it. Perfectly good calf, up and sooked as I said, but no. Now for twins we give them bigger pens anyway, so obviously there's 2 calves. Honestly, livestock, sent to bloody test you. You think this lot haven't been fed in about 5 days? So at either end of both the lines of hose pipes, we've got just your standard garden fitting. So it's just a garden hose fitting that you can change the nozzle on, etc. So this is just in case the pipe does freeze, then we can open this up and let it run, you know, just trickle away, just to try and thaw the pipe if it does freeze, or if there's any reason why we need to let the pipe run. So it's taken a wee bit longer to get this side done, just because we ran out of Jubilee clips and we also ran out of hose pipe. So had to go and get that in between everything else that's been going on. So got them all cable tied to the gate, attached at the ground. I just need to cable tie this far end to a couple of hurdles, and then I'm going to try it on and see everything, make sure everything's tight enough, there's no leaks, before I bed the pens and get them ready for this lot kicking off, because they have been quite slow at the moment compared to last year. This time last year I think we had maybe a 30-40 lambed fully, probably. So far we have 8. So yeah, it's bound to kick off at some point. So if I can get these drinkers up and running, make sure I'm happy with them, then when they do decide to go, we'll be ready. And at this end, again, Davey's just used a standard hose, garden hose fittings. So just onto our tap. It means we can't use the tap at this end, but last year we had this at the far end, and this was just used as a tap. But a couple times it did get close to freezing, and the sun comes up here first thing in the morning, obviously shines on this tap first, so it thaws it out quicker. So we thought that we'd put them both on at this end this year, and see how it goes. So yeah, just standard fitting, just work these two to switch them on and off if we have to, and then yeah, let's see how it goes. Just going around making sure that there's no leaks on the floor, and then no leaks up here, giving this just a quick tighten to make sure it is nice and secure, because that's the place that usually leaks. And then on. Perfect. And the final one, again, check no leaks. Give that a quick tighten up. Lovely. So I've been checked every fitting, every trough. I'm just going back down now to make sure that there's none of them have started leaking again. But yeah, this is quite exciting. Water now both sides in the wee pens. This is going to save so much time and energy carting water about, because let's be honest, it is very time consuming, and walking one length of the shed, the other, with buckets of water. Water is not light, and there's what, 80 odd pens here. Okay, last year it wasn't so bad because this row had the water installed, so you're only doing 40 pens, but still. And then sure as hell you'll start working in from the, you know, middle out or outside in, and whichever one you started with, guarantee the owl of shit in it by the time you finish all the rest of them. This is just going to be an absolute dream. So I'm just going along and checking that there's no obvious leaks. Here's a wee drip here maybe. So I think this one's maybe still leaking slightly. I might have to tighten up the Jubilee clip there. Looks like it's still gonna cause a bit of bother. And obviously if these keep leaking, then obviously the wee bowl will fill up and then it'll just trickle out over and flood the pen. So we don't want that to happen, do we? Might need to tighten that Jubilee clip a wee bit as well. Pointing out as well, we've left plenty of slack in the pens between them, just so that if they do get caught, they're not going to be, you know, already stretched tight. So there's a wee bit of play in the pipe on the ground. You can see here, obviously we've had straw first, disinfectant powder on top, and then the shavings, and they'll get spread out to rebed the pen again. If she's splashed the drinker a wee bit, they do splash a wee bit, but we keep the pressure down quite low just so that when they do go to it, it doesn't go like whoosh and scare them. So that is it. The drinker video is out. Let me know what you think of our system. If you pick up on anything you think that's a good idea or a bad idea, or if you've done something similar, please let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm hoping it is going to be a huge success and it's going to save a lot of time and effort carting water about. I apologise for the lack of videos recently as well. It's just been chaos. If you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you'll know what I'm talking about. The lack of sleep was really getting to me, so we are much better now. I'm hoping that I will get time to edit the content that I have taken for you all and get a video out there as soon as, but please bear with me. I'm really sorry, but there just isn't enough hours in the day sometimes. But I hope you're all well. Thank you as always for all the support and for continuing to join along and see what chaos happens here on the farm. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you as always, and we'll see you for the next one.